Some addresses do not feel lived in. They feel marked. On Long Island, New York, one house became more than a crime scene. It became a documented account of terror that still divides people to this day. If you are drawn to real cases like this, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join the archive. Before George and Kathy Lutz ever touched the front door, the house had already been baptized in violence. On November 13, 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. told police his parents had been shot. Officers entered the Big Dutch Colonial on Ocean Avenue and found 6 members of the DeFeo family dead in their beds. Ronald DeFeo Sr., Louise, and 4 children. Each had been killed with a .35 caliber Marlin rifle. But the part that shook investigators was not just the murder. It was the silence. The victims were found face down. There were no signs of a struggle. No sedatives were found in their bodies. Neighbors did not report the kind of gunfire that should have rocked the whole street. Ronald later said voices in the house told him to do it. The court gave him life in prison, but the question never died. Why did no one run? 13 months later, George and Kathy Lutz bought that same house for a price that looked too good to ignore. They knew the history. They thought they could live with it. George was a former Marine. Kathy believed a loving family could reset a place. With them came Kathy's 3 children, Daniel, Christopher, and little Missy. On paper, it was a dream home, waterfront, boathouse, pool, room to breathe. In reality, they had stepped into a wound. The first warning came during the blessing. Father Ray Pecoraro walked room to room with holy water until he reached an upstairs bedroom once used by 2 of the murdered boys. There, he heard a voice beside his ear, low, angry, unmistakable. "Get out." He felt a blow across his face. He left shaken, and later said his car stalled and his wipers failed on the way home. He told George one thing: stay out of that room. Then the house went after George. He stopped working. He sat in front of the fireplace for hours, feeding it wood like a man under orders. The family kept the heat high, but the room stayed freezing. Cold spots drifted through the halls. His personality changed. He stopped caring about his appearance. His eyes looked farther away every day. And every night, he woke at exactly 3:15 in the morning, the same time investigators believed the DeFeo murders happened. He would walk to the boathouse in the dark as if something inside the property was calling roll. The rest of the family felt it too. Rooms filled with the smell of perfume, then sewage, then something like rot. In the sewing room, hundreds of black flies covered the windows, even though it was deep winter in New York. Kathy tried to hold the house together, but Missy said she had made a friend named Jody, not a little girl, not an invisible Tea Party guest, a pig with glowing red eyes that could watch from outside the window and move through the walls. One night, George saw those eyes near the boathouse, bright, high off the ground, staring back from the dark. By the final days, the activity turned violent. Doors slammed shut without warning. Kathy said unseen hands touched her body and left marks. The family heard pounding through the house that sounded like heavy boots and gunshots mixed together. Whether it was haunting, trauma, or something worse, the result was the same. The family was breaking. Skeptics have spent decades attacking the case. Some say the pressure of money, fear, and a notorious address pushed the Lutz family into panic. Others say parts of the story were exaggerated after the fact. That debate is real. But so are the murder record, the priest's statements, and the simple fact that the Lutz family ran after only 28 days. They did not stage a neat exit. They left clothes, food, furniture, almost everything. After they fled, investigators came in. Ed and Lorraine Warren entered the house with a team and said the place felt heavy with despair. During that period, a night camera on the second floor captured the image that still haunts this case. A small figure with bright eyes peering from a doorway in an empty house. Skeptics say it was a person on the team. Believers say it was John Matthew DeFeo, one of the murdered children. No one settled it. That is what makes Amityville so hard to dismiss and so hard to accept. The crime is documented. The fear is documented. The argument is endless. Later owners said nothing supernatural happened there. Maybe the house was quiet by then. Maybe whatever was there had already fed. Or maybe the real power of that address So after everything we just went through in the last 6 minutes, the dark history, the terrifying urban legends, and those infamous 28 days of pure panic, you're probably asking yourself, what on earth is this place like today? Is it still a hot spot for the paranormal? Well, looking at it now, my personal take on Amityville might actually surprise you, because the biggest plot twist of this entire story is that the horror is completely gone. If you were to drive down to Long Island right now expecting to feel a chilling presence or see those iconic, creepy attic windows staring down at you, you'd be pretty disappointed. To protect their privacy, recent owners gave the house a total facelift. Those famous quarter-moon windows were swapped out for standard, everyday square ones. The house was repainted to look bright and welcoming. The town even changed the official address from 112 to 108 Ocean Avenue just to throw off the GPS systems of curious tourists. Today, it's just a stunning, peaceful riverfront property. And the paranormal activity? Since 1975, several different families have called this place home, and their collective verdict is unanimous. Absolutely nothing strange has ever happened. No cold spots, no creepy voices, just a normal, quiet family life. Honestly, from my perspective, the only real curse left on the Amityville house comes from the living. The true nightmare for the current owners isn't a demonic entity. It's the endless stream of ghost hunters and trespassers trying to get a Halloween selfie. It really makes you think about how a Hollywood myth can trap a perfectly normal house in a permanent nightmare. Amityville will always be a legendary piece of pop culture history. But today, it's just a home that deserves its peace. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll see you in the next mystery.